Hey guys, this is James, websitefornoobs.com, and this will be our third video within our series of tutorials that we're going to be putting on our website. So for those of you guys that have been following along, so far what we've done is we've created our file plan, we've added our file to Dreamweaver under the Manage Sites. We have created our first template HTML file, we've discussed the div tags and CSS files, and we have also made our first tag within our file called a wrapper tag, which centers our website within the page. So if you guys go to websitefornoobs.com, kind of scroll through the pages, you're going to see a lot of the stuff we're going to be talking about throughout these videos. All right, if you guys do not have website hosting yet, if you go to websitefornoobs.com, select on hosting, you guys can see a list of great hosting websites that you can utilize for building your website, uploading it. For these tutorials, we are currently going to be using Arvix to load up all of our files for that. So you guys take a look at them, write some reviews, do what you guys think are good for other people. You know, make sure you write those reviews good. So if you don't like the website host, make sure you say that. So that way people don't sign up for website hosting that isn't good. Also, if you guys like this video, please shoot us a like on Facebook and subscribe to our video. Anyways, now we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and finish up our the main structure of our template page. Alright, so I'm going to go throw some design model. We're currently on the template page that we designed, and as if you go in my site folder, we've got our template HTML folder here, and with our CSS file, our main CSS document also. So I'm going to go ahead and throw us in design mode. And as you can see, this is our content right here. This is a tag we developed during our last video. Alright, you guys have also seen the CSS file. We have our wrapper tag right here saying, hey, we want you to look like this, be this wide. We want you to be purple, 1000 pixels wide. We want you to have the same amount of white space on the left and the same amount of white space on the right. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to add in a couple more div tags. Since the wrapper tag that we currently have up there is going to wrap our entire website up, we don't want any text within it. So let's go ahead and highlight all the text between the wrapper start tag and the closing tag for that specific div wrapper tag. All right, and let's go ahead and delete all that text out of there. And as you see, our box turns really small on the right hand side. Let's go ahead and press enter. Highlight all these little P symbols and go ahead and leave it at that. I have to give myself some space so I can actually physically see where my tags are at, where they start and finish. So what we need to do is we need to start adding our sequence of tags within the middle here of this wrapper tag. So we want all of our website to fall inside of there. So the first thing we know we're going to do is we're going to create a header in our website. All right, so if we go to websitefornoobs.com, here's our header right here, the top part. All right, and as you can see, we got some rounded corners on there. You know, we got probably, I think we did 250 pixels tall, 1000 pixels wide. So let's go ahead and create that header tag. So if you go to structure right hand side, we'll drop down menu, select structure, and select the header identifier. We're going to get this header box, and it's going to say add insertion point. Currently that will work because I have my cursor already clicked right there, but we're not going to do that because it's bad practice. Sometimes you might accidentally throw a tag outside of where you want it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that insertion tag, insert, and we're going to change it to before end of tag. All right, and as you see, automatically the most #1 tag on there, which is our body tag, the highest priority tag, is going to be selected. What we're going to do is we're going to change that to wrapper tag. And what that's saying is before we get to the end of this wrapper tag div right here, we want you to put in our new tab. So it's going to go after the first part of it, but before the end. And we're going to go ahead and name this one header. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and select OK. As you can see, within the div of the wrapper, so let's go ahead and press enter and press enter. Alright, so we have our wrapper, and now we have our header ID for our header, which header ID is simply just changing the word header. It says div now. Alright, and instead of having /div, it's /header for the closing tag. Okay, and now it has content for ID header goes here. So what we got to do is we got to tell that header how tall we want it to be, how wide we want it to be, and what kind of corners we want on it. So let's go ahead and open up our CSS folder right here, and let's take a look at it. So we now know, I showed you guys how to load up a new CSS tag by utilizing the selectors over here. But this time we're going to actually type it out. So pound, click on it over here, pound, and then we're going to type in header, all lowercase, because that's what we did. And as you see, it automatically populated. If you guys saw that a second ago, as I was typing it, automatically populated header, because that was already, because what it does, starts flowing along with the letters typing in, it finds the tag that matches that to that point. We're going to go ahead and do an opening squirrely bracket, press enter a couple times, and do a closing squirrely bracket. So one opens to the right, one opens to the left. So now we have a new tag. Now, since we typed that in there, if we actually go over here to our main CSS file, we actually see them both under our selectors. It doesn't matter if you do the plus sign over here and type it in here, or if you type it in over here, it'll automatically populate on both sides. So now we want to say, we'll determine a good height for our header. And just for now, just to temporarily, we're going to go ahead and do a height. We're going to click on the height, change it to pixels. We're going to name it 200 pixels. Alright, and then for the width, and just to show you guys that we could actually switch back and forth, the width, we're going to make it 1000 pixels. And then we're going to go ahead and click off of it. And then we're going to change the background color. So if we go, mess this stuff up now, make sure I have any extra, get these P symbols. Accidental, I'm actually trying to rush this, I don't want the video to take too long, so if we click over in here next to our width, select enter, type in background, and you can automatically see it starts populating. So background color, it's a common one, and then we have you click on it, press enter, and now we get the little palette deal. Press enter, and we're gonna get a little box pops up, and let's go ahead and change this guy to green. Press enter, and close it off with this little guy. As you see, our page has just turned green. So let's go ahead and preview this in Safari. So now what we have now is a wrapper tag. You can't see it now because it is purple. What I'm showing you now is that even though the wrapper tag is invisible right now, you can't see it. Because we placed, let me go ahead and change it back to source code. Because we placed this header within the wrapper tag, it automatically takes the top left corner spot and it works its way all the way down to the bottom right. So, and as we expand on this, the wrapper tag is actually going to get taller because when we did the wrapper tag, if you notice, we left out the height. All right, we put it in there real quick in the last video and we deleted it. So this height will automatically expand with the page. So the height currently of the wrapper tag is going to be forced to 200 pixels because that's what we do with our header. So once we make our navigation bar 40 pixels, the wrapper tag will automatically stretch to 240 pixels and so forth. And as we keep pushing along with the page, it's going to keep expanding out. As you notice, the wrapper tag, since everything's falling inside of it, we still have even mouse space left and right. So just for fun, because I think square corners are boring, let's go ahead and change these corners up here. Let's make these rounded corners on the top left and top right. So if we go over here, click on into the main screen, select the main CSS file, select the header, and if we actually scroll down until we find, so we just passed 3 boxes, we have margin, padding, position. If you scroll down to find like a round the corner rectangle shape, there it is, see border radius. Now on this we only want to mess with the top left and top right border because that's all we want to adjust right now. Let's go ahead and give those each, let's change them to 10 pixel borders. So as you see, border top left radius, border top right radius have both been added to our CSS file for 10 pixels each. Go to File, Preview in Safari, save it. As you can see, we now have edges up here on the top right and top left. We have a square, but now we have our rounded corners for the green part. So you kind of see a little purple coming through there. So how do we fix that? Well, let's go to the wrapper tag. The wrapper tag, we actually want to change that. We want borders all the way around. So let's go ahead and click off, select our main CSS, select wrapper, go find that same border guy right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, so border radius, go ahead and, for the top left, let's change it to 10. Click off of it. click back on it, and then press the center button. And as you see, they all change to 10. And what we now have here in the wrapper tag, you see border dash radius, 10 pixels. Now because we specify the entire box to be 10 pixel radius on all four corners, it's not going to generate a bunch of individual lines for the left, right, top, or left, right, top, and left, right, bottom. It just tells entire radius to be 10 pixels. Let's go ahead and preview that now. Select yes. Alright, as you can see, because our header image actually, we never messed with this bottom part, it still stays square. And then the top left and top right are both rounded corners. So it's a pretty useful tool if you're trying to make it quick, make your website look good pretty quick, make it look a little bit more professional than just being a box website. Alright, so now you guys get the gist of this. We're going to go ahead and kind of press this pretty fast. Alright, underneath our header, so within our wrapper tag, underneath our header tag, we need to add a new navigation tag. So on the right hand side over here, insert structure, select, go down, select navigation. Change it to before end of tag, to wrapper, and let's go ahead and take, name this main nav. Select OK, and it automatically pops below. So if we separate this off, automatically pops below our header tag. So our main nav. So instead of, see how we had header ID, now this one says nav ID, automatically generates below the header. So let's go ahead and adjust CSS for that. So let's go ahead and click off main CSS, plus under the selectors, it's the pound main nav works. Then we're going to go ahead and make it a width of 1000 pixels, height of 40 pixels. We're going to change the background color right now, currently to, let's make it red. And that'll be good for now. Alright, so let's go ahead and preview in Safari. So as you can see, it flows directly across there. Everything's good to go. Alright, so next one we're going to do is we're actually going to create the body tag, the main body tag, separate from this tag. So let's go ahead and create a new div tag. We'll just do div tag for this one. Before end of tag, within the wrapper tag, and we're going to do main body. Select OK. It automatically populates below it. And for this one, all we're going to do for this one right now is we're going to create under our main CSS folder, we're going to go ahead and create the selector for it, main body. We're going to go ahead and do opening and a closing. And then we're going to delete all this text out of here. And see it disappears. Alright, we don't want that because we don't actually physically want to see this for now, just temporarily. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a height. And we're going to make it, we'll say 500 pixels. And then we're going to do a width of 1000 pixels. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and preview in Safari. There we go, so far everything's looking good. And let's go ahead and add in our final tag for this section, which will be a footer tag. So let's go ahead, before end of tag, before the end of wrapper, type in footer, select OK. And now what we want to do is we want to actually establish how big we want this footer. So recently, they've been making footers, websites have been making footers pretty large, a lot larger than what their main header the main headers are looking like. And that's because they're trying to attract people to look at the footer for a lot more link correlations for navigation. So let's go to main CSS, split main CSS. Let's go ahead and add in our footer tag, pound footer. Select enter. See, we got footer coming over here. Let's go ahead and make this guy say main CSS, footer. Let's make a background color of, let's do dark blue. Select enter, and let's make it 300 pixels tall. So go to the height, click on it, make it pixels 300. Let's do width of 1000. And let's go ahead and make the bottom borders for this guy right here also. So we want the bottom left and bottom right borders to be 10 and 10. And then we're going to go ahead and leave it at that for now. Let's go ahead and preview in Safari. Just like this. So now what we do is we now have a web page. It is the active web page. It's just a bunch of colors on the screen. So content for ID header goes here, around the corners. Bottom we got a footer with around the corners. Now what you'll notice is that if you're using, when you come over here on Dreamweaver and your structure, if you utilize the structures called header, navigation, or the footer, the around the corners will not automatically work with the background of the wrapper. But if you utilize a div tag, as if you guys rewind this video a little bit, and you notice when we did the last body tag, the corners automatically rounded with the bottom of the wrapper tag. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys know that whenever if you're using a div tag instead of say a footer tag, your corners will typically automatically round themselves out. I don't know why it does that, but for some reason Dreamweaver, it does that automatically. So let's go over here and we have our page. So now the green area is where we're eventually going to delete this text, and we're going to add an image here, and then we're going to add a couple clickable boxes here. We're going to add in our navigation bar here. In a couple videos from now, we will actually delete this entire section of. We're going to delete this entire CSS tag for the main body, and we're going to insert editable region there, and then we're going to go ahead and add an image to our footer. But we'll be doing those in future videos. So hey, thanks for watching this video. If you guys do like these tutorials, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you guys go to websiteforoobs.com, click on this little like Facebook link, that'd be great. If you guys have some good videos that you would like to share with everybody on our website, go over here, share your content, send us your video links, send us your documents, whatever. We will put everything on our website. If you do have videos, please make sure you monetize your videos so that when people click on your video, you make money. Okay? And if you guys have any questions, you guys here's a link on Contact Us. And if you guys have utilized website hosting or e-commerce hosting that is listed on our website, please go to the reader review sections and place a review of the hosting companies that you've dealt with before. Thanks for watching.